Hello.
Hello.
First things first.
Don't eat the paint.
Second things second. Hoosiers, you're fired. And then rehired. But don't eat the paint. And Rattlecan, you're getting a promotion.
Yeah. Jordan was having conversations with you guys before we turned the stream on.
I was like...
First thing was, Philip's first.
Yeah, what the heck are you doing, Philip?
And then we're like, no,
thought you were doing some work or something. You were here first.
And then it was, what? Hoosiers, we said not to do that.
Yeah.
So yes, don't eat the paint. It says it right there. Not eating paint, nor should you. It can be a tasty Tuesday.
You know what you should do, though?
Consuming any paint.
Hydrate.
Yes,
That's what you
always
should do.
Be sure to hydrate.
You know what I might do instead of going to the gym? I might go for a walk today. It's like nice outside.
Probably pretty nice for a walk. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's great to see you guys again. Welcome back for a Tasty Tuesday. Don't worry, we're not eating paint. I just had some delicious sushi, so I'm enjoying that. And no drinking the paint either. Hoosiers, don't get fired again. What we got in here?
No skipping the gym. But if he goes on a walk, it's still good exercise.
I would walk and then go to the gym tomorrow because I think
technically
everybody's
you can walk
planning
to the
on
gym.
You're not painting?
I said the same thing.
Like, what the
Paint today.
heck?
I thought you might want to.
She's not painting.
I mean,
Jen's supposed to paint.
So maybe
do you want to
paint.
produce?
Huh?
Do you want to produce and have
Well, I
Jen
don't
paint?
want her to have to stop doing what she's
No,
doing.
that's
She's
okay.
on
I
a
don't-
run.
I don't need to paint today.
All right. Then.
All right.
I
Okay.
know that people will want to see you paint too.
Oh, you got that big robot though. Those are Jen's.
These are rough.
I'm blind.
Whoa.
I'm blind with just my plain eyes. You
Those
know,
are
these
those are
eyes,
rough. those are some magnification right there.
Does remind me that I need to get my eyes checked for like regular glasses.
T. Schmidt, cannibalism is bad, Jordan. Is Christopher going to be okay? I don't know. He's been.
Why are those two in the same sentence?
Christmas
They're
sushi,
technically they are
'cause
separate
Jordan said he had
sentences.
sushi for lunch.
Oh,
Oh, well.
I did.
he also had
I actually
sushi
had
for
chicken
lunch.
katsu for lunch.
Oh,
It
really?
came
You
with
had
2
sushi?
pieces of sushi.
You did have some sushi?
I had 2 pieces.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of regretted not getting what you got because
But it was
looked
good.
really
I was gonna say,
good.
if you had the opportunity to get sushi and you did not,
I did
we
not.
should have a chat because you don't get very many of those opportunities.
Things are wrong with the world.
I did not have full-on sushi, though. So, you are correct. I did not. Well, I don't know what I want to paint.
You do or you don't know?
I don't.
You got a whole box of models the other day.
I have
want
so
to paint
much
any of that?
stuff. I mean, even before that box showed up, we were not suffering for
Too many
lack of
options?
painting stuff.
Too many options makes it difficult to choose.
We had so much to do here.
All right. Back to it. I think I'm going to add a little bit more warmth along this kind of like termination line where the light turns into shadow on the skin.
I'm gonna steal the mouse.
And then I'm gonna kind of do the hair. I think today is the next thing to do. There might be a little bit of refining that needs to be done on the skin, but not much. I think it's in a pretty darn good spot right now. But I don't want to mess with it too much. What do you look at? Oh, okay. Don't worry, I won't tell
You
you.
just do what you're doing. You just don't pay attention to
It's
the
right
man
in front of my
behind.
face,
You
Jason.
just don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain over here.
There's everything is in
You
front
have
of
all
the
these
curtain.
wonderful chatters that need your attention right this minute.
You guys all are awesome.
Ismail Camarillo said, Jordan, did you see the donut pics I sent you?
I did. I'm jealous. What the heck?
What is this and why is Jordan the only one who got to see them? What are these donuts? Tell me about them.
They're homemade donuts.
Homemade?
Homemade
What kind?
jelly-filled donuts.
Oh my gosh.
that were made for, if I recall, for your coworkers.
Said I'm going to bring some when I visit. When are you visiting? We like donuts.
You're going to bring some when you visit? Okay, when are you coming? Tomorrow? We'll see you tomorrow, right? You're like,
Should I plan on donuts tomorrow?
you're in like California or something, right?
Right down the street.
That's you're basically right down the street.
Literally right down the street.
I'm sorry, Hoosiers. They were 100% solicited donut picks. I requested said donut picks. Brioche donuts. Oh my god,
Oh,
even
yum.
better. Oh no.
Brioche donut? That's like heresy.
They have
What?
those at Rollover
That sounds
Donuts.
amazing.
That's heresy.
Amazing.
Rollover has brioche donuts. Pumpkin spice.
Brioche is awesome.
Yum.
Jason, I love this color.
What color? Good color. It is a great color.
Jordan wanted before and afters. I brought the goods.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get any afters. I only got befores.
Well,
Oh, that's really
after
cool,
of
Jason.
what? What is an after with a donut pick?
It would be an empty plate
Oh.
of no donut. I don't want to
We can
see
all
the
imagine.
other
I
after
was gonna
for
say
that.
you're risky with some of these requests. I think we can all just use our imagination on the after.
You'll be staying with your friend down the street in like a couple weeks
For a
then?
couple of days in November.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Heck yeah. That sounds like a delight. I'm on board for that, Jason.
They're standing on a bunch of carpet.
Pink carpet.
Yeah, that picture that he was just looking at, they were standing on like a
Yeah, they were on like a bunch
big
of like it
rug.
was like
Oh.
this weird pink carpet or it's probably a blanket.
It's got to be a
Looks like a
blanket.
blanket.
Looking what people do their miniature
Yeah.
photos on is always a joy because
That's
it's like,
cool.
is that like your grandma's dining room table
Yeah.
with doilies? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Scientific boink.
Yes, Jason.
It's a fun name.
I like where your head's at right now. Chat doesn't get to know right this second, but I do.
Oof, that's
Any
rough.
flavor
Though.
requests on
What do
the
you mean
donuts?
it's rough?
What are the options? This is just like a filling.
So my favorite donut, weirdly enough, I don't know what they're called, but you've seen them from Bosa probably.
Okay.
It's a regular like raised donut, but it has all the crumbles on it. It's
Uh-huh.
like a
Oh, like a
cake
cinnamon crumb
donut.
one.
Huh?
Like the cinnamon. Is it like cinnamon?
No, it's like if you took up a cake donut and you put it in a food processor,
Oh.
and then you like put that as it's like a cake donut and a baked donut mixed.
Never heard of it.
It's got this like I don't know what it is, but it's freaking delicious.
Don't know. Fillings, whatever pastry cream that's piped in. Churro. Good.
Churro flavor would probably be too sweet for me. But I mean,
Cinnamon.
strawberry, raspberry would be delicious.
You know what? We would be happy with anything.
Also,
We're not
that.
picky.
Yeah, what Jen said.
Hoosier said there's a dairy farm about 20 minutes from my house that bottles and sells their own milk, makes their own cream. We went after school to get a restock. My kids wanted ice cream from the cafe, so I gave in, got them each a treat. So because they had pumpkin pie ice cream and pumpkin spice milk, which I got as a milkshake, pretty sure it was like drinking heaven. I like pumpkin baked things, so like pumpkin bread, pumpkin muffins. But I don't like necessarily just the flavor of it. Like I don't get pumpkin spice coffee.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would
like
be
pumpkin
kind of weird.
pie.
Yeah, I don't care for pumpkin pie either.
So that I don't think I would like pumpkin ice cream.
I thought you liked pumpkin.
I
Not
literally
really.
just said.
No, I know. I understand that you just said that you don't.
I only like.
I'm
sweets.
acknowledging that, but I could have sworn
No.
that there was some sort of like spiced or special like coffee drink or something that you do like.
I like butterscotch.
No,
No, not pumpkin. Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
I was mistaken then.
No pumpkin. Pumpkin ravioli? Nope, I wouldn't like that.
Pumpkin has definitely grown on me over the years, but it's still definitely not. It is the lesser of all of those things.
Yeah. Pumpkin pie is just a conveyance for copious amounts of whipped cream. That I could
This
be
is
on board
true.
with.
The only reason you
Yes.
eat pumpkin pie is to have lots of whipped cream.
Whipped cream on it. Give me the tiny little sliver of pumpkin pie and a big old dollop of whipped cream.
I'll just have the
Enough.
whole thing of whipped cream.
That's enough for me.
That sounds great. Screw the pie.
Dork Depot, good afternoon. The brown sugar oat milk coffee panda is like an oatmeal cookie. It's so good.
Maybe it was that you might
Yeah,
have been
that could be
talking
it.
about.
It's brown sugar. Well, and I like customize it and I add cinnamon to it. So it's like oatmeal, brown sugar, cinnamon.
I do
It's
like
so good.
oat
It's like a
milk.
cookie.
Oat milk is pretty delicious.
And then their new seasonal flavor that I love is the pecan crunch oat milk latte. It's so good.
Does it like actually have crunchy stuff in it?
It has little, like, they sprinkle stuff on top of it.
Well, that's kind of cool. Jason had his first hot chocolate this morning of the year.
Oh, really?
First hot chocolate of the season.
Aw.
Yep.
I'm excited. It means
The weather has turned,
Yep.
all.
Yep.
It was 70
see.
degrees at lunch.
Oh my gosh, it says it's 71 right now.
Yeah, it was 70 degrees outside. After the car had been sitting in the sun, got in it, started it up 70 degrees. I was like, all right, that wins. I'm a fan.
We should tell you all, I mean, you guys know this because we complain about it all the time, but like yesterday it was close to 90, and today it's only, well, now it says 73, but still.
it's below
The
80.
temperatures
which is
have
significant.
plummeted, and it's starting to feel like fall in Arizona.
Yeah, you should do that, Jason.
I think that's it.
No, don't do that.
Are those
No?
polka dots?
No, no,
Why not?
no. You can do something that looks way cooler than that, Jason.
That's so easy.
Don't let yourself down.
That's so easy. It's called Clan Ice Hellions.
Jeep Nate, hello.
I'm not doing Jade Falcons because I know we have people in chat that like Jade Falcons. So
What
I'm
about
not
Sea
doing it.
Fox?
Oh my gosh, we're
Ooh,
cooler
diamond
than
shark.
the Midwest today. In the 80s in Minnesota and Chicago.
It's actually a cool blue.
Ultramarine almost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, was it windy out today?
Not really.
Not that I could
No.
tell.
We had a little bit of wind over the weekend, maybe. And it was a little, like, stormy looking last night, but it only barely drizzled.
It definitely was stormy looking last night. That's for sure.
Ghost Hunter, did you just type that again? I saw that the first time and I just didn't get a chance to read it. Ghost Hunter was offered, hold on. See, because Jason has my screen where I normally, like, read the old chat.
Took my mouse.
I need to, I'm sorry, I'm trying to, like, make sure that I don't miss people's comments and questions.
Jeez,
Ghost
read
Hunter
faster.
was offered a job crushing cans today, but he turned it down because it sounded so depressing.
Wait, soda pressing. Oh my god!
That was a good one.
Soda pressing.
Soda pressing.
Yeah, it's so depressing, isn't it?
Oh my
pressing.
god. Goliath, Scorpion Clan, Synthwave colors? No, I'm
Yes.
not doing Ghost Bear. Ghost Bear's
Yes.
boring.
Synthwave. Let's go. I'm in.
Ghost Bear's boring. I'm
Jason?
looking at Diamond Shark.
Gamma Galaxy. That looks
Oh,
like
that's
it
the
could
one
be
I just
colorful.
looked at. It's green.
Oh.
If we miss anyone's question or if we don't say hi, it's because Jason is hogging the mouse. We only have
Read
one
faster!
that we share amongst us. We can't afford 2 mouses.
Well, it wouldn't work that way anyway. You have 2 mices. We don't have 2 computers. Ooh, that's kind of a neat color. Kind of like a faded purple.
Ghost Hunter said, Jordan, can you show us RGB synthwave?
I mean, sure. You guys saw
Guardians?
the big bottle of Procryl that I painted, right? With the hands,
Oh, the bold sense of humor.
the bold sense of humor. That was synthwave colors.
Did you take pictures of it?
Yeah, I do have a picture of it.
Guardians MH, hello.
All right.
Does MH stand for Monument Hobbies?
I think that.
I like those colors.
I like that actually. Where is our synthwave friend? Aha! There is your synthwave friend.
I love how you're holding his hand in that picture.
Jason, I approve.
Well, that was kind of the same as this Beta Galaxy scheme. I think they're both speaking to me. I think it could be either or.
Oh, I like that one on the.
This one is.
That is cool. That's really cool.
Right.
The like gray, silver, and that color. That I won't say out loud because they're not allowed to know yet. That's cool.
All right, it's gonna be one of those.
I'm in.
Be one of those. Let's here.
Schmidt, it's a marshmallow. He's roasting marshmallows.
Open the picture, silly computer. Do it now.
Computers don't know how to do that.
All right, mouse is yours.
All right, finally.
Jeez.
Takes a while.
Panic Bomb said you're discussing clans. I know what he's painting.
Do
Yeah.
you though?
We could be allowed to know now. Do you want me to put on two cameras
Nah,
or
you
no?
can keep him on. I'm just gonna prime.
Oh, okay.
I'm painting his hair gray. With
Victor,
some
no, I don't know why it's secret, to be honest.
wizard's butt and
Nothing
some
secret.
burgundy to make this nice gray color.
What's going on down there? Why is Gabe under Chris's desk?
Is he like
What?
under Chris's desk?
Very weird.
Well, they are weird.
What's going on in there?
Why isn't the door closed? Good. Chris looks at me, and then down at the floor level, Gabe's head comes out. Not from under his desk, but like around the corner. He's like sitting Indian style on the ground, like staring at Chris's screen from the floor up. It's very strange. Very odd.
Needed a little break. Sometimes you just gotta sit.
Very odd. That's all I'm going to say. Some odd stuff going on in there, folks. Folks.
It's a big old mad cat. What's a big old mad cat? Jordan didn't get a cat yet.
Nope.
At least not that I know of.
No, not yet.
Okay.
I do need to call some places though.
About what?
Getting a cat.
You just stop.
Why?
You do this all the time. You're like, you know what I need to do is this thing that I will never do.
Okay. I'll prove you wrong though.
Never do it. You'll
prove you-
never do it.
I'll prove you
Show
wrong.
up with a cat tomorrow, Jordan.
I mean, I'm not going to show up with a cat tomorrow. I'm not a crazy person. This requires a little bit more thought and effort than that.
That is definitely the wrong attitude for buying a cat.
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, you got sticky on there?
It'll probably fall off a million times because it's very heavy.
Do you want better sticky stuff?
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's
Poor
fine.
Bacon, hello.
It's fine.
Hey, Looker said I'm predicting a Thor.
You're double checking it just in case.
It's fine.
it's fine. Let me make sure that it's properly adhered.
Source wants to know if you're going to be getting a cat so that you can use its tail. No.
No.
Damn.
The right attitude for buying a cat is to just have one show up and it lives with you now. I agree. I think that's the way that the cat.
I mean, that is kind of like
system
how
works.
getting a cat works, right?
No office cats, fortunately. Too much stuff. After work, go to the animal shelter, said T. Schmid.
Black primer.
Then
The right way to acquire a cat is not to acquire a cat. Agreed.
consume paint. I don't
The
understand.
best cat is
first
someone
part.
else's.
How are you doing? I recently got into your paints this past summer and enjoyed them. Got the Adepticon set and some paints I needed for Constantine Valdor, and I really like the thank you note. Awesome! I don't understand the part in parentheses. Consume paint.
You
What do?
get me the hose that's down on the ground by your foot? For some reason, it's disconnected from the airbrush.
It's Gabe's fault.
It's Gabe.
Hey, Gabe's fault.
Jason Source is saying that they could learn something from watching you Prime, so they want to watch you Prime.
That's fine.
That's
fine.
how it is. You guys
There's
don't love
always
me.
good stuff to learn from watching somebody Prime. This is also true.
It's just a joke, okay. Don't eat the paint. But we are very happy to hear that you are enjoying your paint that you've gotten from us.
Yes.
And our fulfillment team does a great job getting things out, and they truly do. We appreciate every single order, so they will write a note on there. Papa Chicken said, Baby J, I would love to see you paint a synthwave mech. Jason's probably not doing it because he's afraid, but we all know how brave you are, Baby J.
I'm not even sure what any of that means. But if I'm going to be honest with you,
Baby J's not afraid?
I'm never afraid, Jason.
But you probably are. That's why you're not doing it.
I'm afraid of painting anything synthwave. Is that what we're saying?
That's the
Seems
accusation.
about right.
Seems about right.
I'm not painting your silly synthwave.
Love Assault, we are doing great. How are you? The dulcet tones of the compressor. We have the compressor? Oh yeah, Jason, the compressor.
I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have done that.
What'd you do?
I knew it wasn't spraying right. You guys never clean the dang airbrushes.
I did, actually. Not that one, though. I cleaned the other one. Which is the one that you always use. This is the one you have on your side.
That's the .2. You can't prime with a .2. Trying to bully me into hot pink will never work again. I did it, and when I did it, I said this would be the one time. So don't get used to it.
Honestly, they didn't even bully you. You just did it.
It was because of all the bullying.
I think you just did it. I'm not sure there was a lot of bullying involved.
You can go back to one painter. If the bullying worked once, it could work again. Nope. I will not cave. No more pink. No more pink models, chat. Not gonna happen.
What if Shelby really, really, really nicely and politely asked you?
Not gonna happen.
for her birthday.
Nope.
Yeah, that opens a whole can of worms of then everybody getting things that they want for their birthday. We can't do that. Red Spartan said probably already been covered, but what size needle do you use for priming?
0.3. This, which is a standard needle size that comes in most airbrushes, is your best bet. If you're working with like a really heavy primer, Stynylrez, I guess anybody but us, then a 0.5 is also useful, so that you don't have to thin it. The thing with primer is you don't want to have to thin the primer. You want it to come as it is, right? You want to be able to spray as it comes out of the bottle. So the needle size is dictated a lot by what the consistency of the primer is. Our primer is fairly thin and viscous, or non-viscous, so you're able to spray it through a smaller needle opening, still get really good coverage, lays super flat, does everything you need it to do. So, easy. Other primers are thicker, and in being thicker, they may be a little bit more durable than ours, but they're going to be a real pain to clean up. Do you have the key?
Yes.
Game Delay came here for the paint eaten only to find out that's not happening. I mean,
It's not what we
you've
do.
been here enough Game
Ever.
Delay. You know.
When has that ever been what was happening? You know better than that. You can't make the rules. You're not
I'll
mom and
paint
dad.
Shelby pink for her birthday.
What's that?
Ghost Hunter said, I'll paint Shelby pink for her birthday. And then Panic Bomb said, the paint goes on the models, not people. Don't paint the staff.
I feel like Jason has put paint on me before.
On you?
Mm-hmm.
Never. When is that a thing? Have I ever put paint on you? That's not what happens.
It doesn't regularly happen.
Never.
It has happened once.
No. Kind of
Uh-huh.
lying. Do you just sit around and make this stuff up all the time?
Well, yes, but also
I don't understand you. Why would you even do that? Why would you lie? You got the other set of those things.
the other way.
You stealing all my stuff.
I had them over here because I was
Stealing?
cleaning the airbrush.
Well,
Philip got painted.
I cleaned the number 2.
That is true. He didn't get painted so much as he got paint thrown on him.
he got paint thrown on him, and that was Jacob. That wasn't me.
Yeah. Meth Jesus has begun his journey to become Meth Gandalf.
Let's not call this guy meth anything.
He really doesn't. He does not look methy.
Doesn't have any sores. He's just
Yeah, no, he's fine.
not wearing a lot of clothing. He's also relatively well built for a relatively scraggly man.
Come to the opinion that children aren't the source of all illness because they are poo-fingered, but because they put everything in their mouth. Well, that would be why they would get sick. That has nothing to do why they make everyone else sick.
They have poo fingers, therefore.
The poo fingers are what makes.
Turn it back on to 2 painter. See that?
Gross.
That was in the nozzle.
Chunk.
Num nums.
That was in the nozzle.
He looks like if we chained Jason to a rock and only fed him marshmallows.
Yeah,
Kinda.
pretty much. He painted his hair white yet? Oh, he did kind of.
Yeah.
I don't like marshmallows. I get skinny real quick.
I don't know how you don't like marshmallows.
We don't want to get into this. How you don't like pretzels and
He's a teacher. He doesn't make enough money to eat that well. That's true.
that's also sad but true.
Quick, green stuff a backwards hat. Will got the well. But thank you, Rancid Vomit, for that sub.
Woo! 51 months? Yeah.
51 months. Oh, and Eep Jeep Nate also subbed earlier. We missed that alert too, probably because it only said Will and then stopped.
Rancid? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well.
Rancid Vomit.
Oh, it doesn't work for you guys for some reason. I don't know why.
What's not working for these knuckleheads?
The commands.
Oh, yeah.
Rancid Vomit is doing well, thanks.
That still doesn't feel right.
Soothsayer, your new FLGS opened and has a pro acryl rack. Awesome. Which is a mark of good taste. Not literally. Hyped to support.
Not literally.
You put literally or the question mark? And I said, no, not literally. Soothsayer, what city are you in? This might be a good time to start letting people know that we will not be streaming on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
First time in quite a long time that we have missed a stream. Well, when everyone's been in town, that we have missed a stream. We missed a couple when both Jason and Jordan were gone. But we will be taking the whole crew up to a brand new awesome game store here in the Valley. Have an afternoon of
Field trip.
some meeting and some team building and some lunch and.
We're going on a
fun.
field trip.
But we will be departing at around noon, so that means we will not be here for the stream. What am I supposed to do with my Friday now? There's tons of VODs. There's lots of tutorial content on YouTube. There's lots of good ways to fill 2 hours of your time on Friday. Or you could get an early start on your hobby weekend on your own. Or play a game. Well, so Paint Liquor, you guys are loads of fun, but there's not enough room in this studio for everybody to come in.
What? Yeah, put the wrong needle in the wrong machine. You had the wrong nozzle for the wrong. You had the number 2 and the number 3 nozzle. So it was spraying like a beast, and the number 3 was in the number 2, so it wasn't spraying at all.
Team building without the most important team member? Chat. Like I said,
Okay.
not enough room for everyone in the
three,
studio.
the one with the 3
Yeah, I know that.
goes in the one with no notch. The
With no
2
notch?
goes in the one with 1 notch.
And yes, there are also
Where's-
lots of other
right there?
streamers.
Yeah, so
Oh.
the
Who will be
nozzle
streaming
and the
during that
nozzle cap
time.
have 1 notch, and the tail has 2
Okay.
for the size 2, and it has no notches for the size 3 and 3 on the size 2
Okay,
deal.
that's good to know. I did not know that.
All right, we're up and running.
Lots of great hobby streamers, lots of monumental streaming that you can go ask that paint and they can tell you not to eat it. There you go. I believe Kenny streams around the same time that we are on.
Perfect day to eat paint.
Because there won't be anyone to tell us not to. There also won't be anyone to tell that you are.
It's good logic. Not gonna lie. Pretty decent logic there.
Well, the problem with the logic is that they want to prove to us that they've been eating paint.
You can go back to 2 painter if you want.
And if we're not there, then they don't get the enjoyment of having told us that they're eating paint. So I don't think they'll get the same enjoyment out of it that they would otherwise.
A good tutorial and priming, you'll notice that the first pass is just meant to give a slight feather of color onto the model. I'm seeing more of the color of the plastic than I am of the primer at this stage. It dries really quick when you do it this way, obviously, because there's not a lot of wetness that you're applying to the model.
Red Yeti will be at Protospiel hoping to sell a game design. Awesome. Is that, what is Protospiel?
Never heard of that
Spiel,
before.
I know, is toy or game. I think it's toy or game.
Spiel
Yeah.
is play.
Play?
Yeah,
So-
means play.
Okay, never mind. I was so confident that it was either toy or game. And then proto, I assume, is like a prototype, like a. Yeah. Is it in Germany? People crying in the Discord. Be told not to eat the paint there. That's true. Posted on our Facebook ads. Guess the Canadian Eastern Seaboard sold out of fluorescent sets. I mean, that's possible. They have our Canadian distributor has a restock order in right now that we're working on, so they'll be there soon.
Then we go for pass 2. Pass 2, we start darkening it up, try to fill everything in. This will help lock the layers of primer together. Especially on a big model like this, you want to do probably 3 passes and then a 4th touch-up pass. A model like this might even take more because it's got really deep crevices in all the armor panels.
But is that for me? If so, thank you. That's a great compliment. And for the blending that I do, the one thing I can say is that you have to be okay being uncomfortable with it, because it'll look ugly. Mine look very ugly before they look good.
What's that?
The blending.
Oh, yeah. That's true of everything. It's one of the things that beats people up the most when painting and learning to paint is that they feel like they're doing something wrong when every brushstroke doesn't make the model look better.
Yeah.
Some brushstrokes make the model look worse, but that's just you're
That's the process.
on the way to get there.
Yeah.
Detaching your brain from the finality of each thing you do is tough, right? Because it's like every brushstroke is just the means to the next one. Sometimes the paint's got to dry, so you got to set the model aside and let it look crappy for a minute.
Yep. Yep. Then at the mention of sci-fi armor earlier, the Halo tabletop comes out mid-November in stores. Any plans to maybe make a sci-fi Spartan armor tutorial?
Not currently. But you never know.
Halo Spartan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just any armor, right? Are they green? Like military green?
The Spartans?
Yeah.
I think they range, but
They have different colors.
yeah.
I don't know anything about Halo.
British Panda said every time I'm painting, I remind folks that the paint is not food, even if it is highly pigmented nerd juice. Thank you for that public service. Don't eat the paint, anyone. Listen to Awkwardish Panda and us. Dirk6 said, watching the older VODs, I've learned some lore about Jason. He doesn't like White Castle or In-N-Out. I've always thought In-N-Out was average, and besides, homemade burgers are always better.
White Castle is the worst hamburger planet.
Does anybody actually like White Castle?
No.
If they're not drunk?
No.
I don't think so.
As a matter of fact, everybody hates themselves when they go to White
think so.
Castle.
Somebody-
It's always one of those regretted decisions. Like, oh, I should have eaten that White Castle.
Somebody
last night.
tried to tell me not too long ago that they liked White Castle.
That's how you know that person's a liar.
I can't. Yeah,
Oh,
I
well,
I
Houdini
called them a
7.
liar to their face. I was like, you don't like that.
Was it Houdini 7? Because Houdini 7 says White Castles are great in all caps. with an
Nope.
LOL, so I'm not sure what that means.
Wasn't you, but you were also wrong.
White Castle is only good at 2 a.m. That's my point.
White Castle is good. Never.
Yeah. No.
Awkwardish Panda knows a lot of people that love White Castle. What? Are they telling you this when they've been drinking?
You got to read the last part of that.
These people are not your
Smells like
friends.
a bag of farts when you get it.
I hate White Castle, but I know a lot of people that love it. And I'm like, why? Why do you do this to yourself?
People are not your friends. They're
Never
lying
White
straight to
Castle
your face.
Oh, I think it does exist here now.
White Castle?
White Castle. I think there might be like 2 locations here now. But no, we only have had them here recently. But I had them as
It became a fad because it was in like
as a
rap
kid, I knew It was
songs.
terrible. Yeah,
You know?
the Beastie Boys rapped about all that.
Because if you're cruising around in anywhere in Manhattan, Brooklyn especially, late at night, and you were hungry,
Yeah.
it was White Castle. That was your choice. There was no other choice. That or, like, yeah, that.
Crystal might be worse than White Castle, but they're just Wish.com White Castle anyway.
There's a Wish.com White Castle? Boy,
That's disturbing.
Woof.
You got to try really hard to be
Yeah, Harold and
Wish.com.
Kumar go to White Castle.
Oof.
If you grew up with White Castle, you would like it. Like a lot of frozen pizza are not good unless you grew up with them.
I mean,
I don't
It's still
think
not
that makes
good.
it good. It
It's
makes
still
it
not good.
nostalgic.
It's memorable.
Yeah.
I grew up with Brussels sprouts. That's not even objectively wrong. It's just wrong.
You liked Fuddruckers when it was around. Fuddruckers was good.
What
You
a
built your own
name.
burger there.
Huh?
You
Yes,
built your own
own
burger at
Yeah.
Fuddruckers.
And then we had a Flaky Jake's, which is the same thing as
How
Fuddruckers.
did... I don't even want to say it, just
No.
in case I mess it up.
They used to have an ad and it was like the great burgers with a funny name.
Yeah.
And they were mimed and or memed in what's the movie? Idiocracy.
Oh.
Starbucks and Fuddruckers
Yeah.
were memed because they changed the name to exactly what you think you'd say if you messed it up. It became like the name on the tin later on.
Great.
Derp 6 said Spartans from Halo do come in a variety of colors, but the most famous one, Master Chief, is always depicted in a military green.
Yeah.
Camo green
like-
from Pro Beard.
it's like a dark- Drab military needed.
So the thing with our tutorials and when painting, you know, the more you paint, the more confidence you build in your ability to understand the use of color, not the specific colors necessarily that you're using. Does that make sense? Then our tutorials become more and more valuable because we already have tutorials that would teach you how to paint a Spartan.
Mm-hmm.
If you pull the colors you know a Spartan's armor wants to be when you're painting it, then you watch any of the tutorials that we have regarding painting armor and replace the dark color with your dark color, the mid-tone with your mid-tone, and the bright highlights with your bright highlights, and you already know how to paint armor. We're constantly telling you that color is secondary or tertiary in the painting conversation. The color has no bearing on anything other than using the right color at the right time. And a lot of times people will come up to me and say, hey, how do you paint orc skin? And I'm like, well, you paint it like any skin. You just change the colors to green or whatever color you want your orc to be. And they kind of glaze over. And I'm like, but that's the case. I paint it just like I paint human skin, right? I just use different colors.
The brushstrokes are not any different.
Yeah, the brush strokes, the way I blend it, all of that, exactly the same. So if you watch us paint red armor, if you watch me paint the armor on this Timberwolf today, it'll be the exact same way I would paint if it was a Halo model, just changing the color. And that's kind of the area where I love to kind of tell people that that's what you're really training yourself to become, is that person who looks at the model not for the colors you're using, right, but for how you want the material to look. Do you want it to be shiny? Do you want it to be dull? Are you trying to do non-metallic? You use the metallics, you know, this last model that we painted, you know, wanting to be able to come in here and say, okay, well, you know, I want white, but I don't want it to just be plain white. I want some blues and purples and jades and other colors in it. So building up those colors from dark to light is the method. And that works no matter what color I would have painted this bear. The color is irrelevant almost, right? It's the method that you paint it with that keeps the darkness where the darkness goes and the brightness where the brightness goes, and picking, that placement is the key all the time. So we say value and volume first. Step 1 and step 2 should be focused on creating the value and the volume so that you get the material focus you want. If it's supposed to be shiny metal, if it's supposed to be dull fur, whatever. And then picking your color is just, I pick my color as I go. I rarely know what I'm doing when I pick the model up. I just start putting color down. On this guy, I started putting royal purple down for the shadows and was like, eventually we'll get to something that looks like white fur. But I wanted it to be very cold looking with blues, so I built it all the way up to white blue before I used any white. Right? But this could have been gray, black, brown, and none of what I did would have changed other than the colors I picked. So,
Vector, I would like to just add my thoughts on this because, first of all, the people who are the naysayers, the Five Guys, probably don't realize that you live in Europe. That might be different.
Yep.
So I would say definitely give it a try. I like Five Guys burgers. I think they're good.
I don't like their fries
Their
as much.
fries are good if they're cooked right.
Yeah.
A lot of times they don't cook them well enough and they're just soggy. But if they cook them long enough, they get crispy and they're really good because they are fresh cut from potatoes, like right on site. So
I think Five Guys is that kind of like just generically good.
it's good.
Like, it's hard to argue with
Yeah.
a Five Guys cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Because it's no frills.
It's all fresh made to order.
It's fresh made to order.
They
put whatever you want on it.
and
That's so
pricing, who
cool.
knows what it'll be there. Some
But
of it is
that's-
a little more expensive than like fast food here,
Mhm.
but you get a lot. Like it's a big burger.
Yeah, and
They're
you can
double
put
patties.
a ton of stuff on it.
Yeah,
It doesn't
you
have
can
a
get-
limit.
They have a million different toppings. You can get all
Yeah.
of them. They don't charge you extra for it.
Yep.
So definitely give it a shot. See if it might be good there.
I mean, it's a good idea for like a simple menu, right? Because literally the only thing they have is they have
Five Guys? Burgers.
Yeah.
burger,
Well, they have hot dogs too.
Oh, they have a
bacon
hot dog.
burger,
And shakes, milkshakes.
hot dogs.
Their shakes are
shakes,
just
fries.
okay.
The shakes
Yeah.
are good if you get them there fresh.
I'm gonna be honest. I got spoiled by the stand. Those
Shake
shakes
Shack is also good.
are just Shake Shack does have good shakes.
Shake Shack is good. They better be. I mean, that's their name. But
Well, they also do the same thing, right? They do the like.
they use chocolate ice cream for chocolate shakes.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. To have a good shake, all you got to do is use chocolate ice cream. Don't put chocolate syrup and vanilla ice cream and try to pawn it off as a chocolate shake. Quit it.
I will say though, the nice thing about the stand is I feel like they use a little bit like darker, richer chocolate when they do theirs.
Oh yeah, by far.
Because I had it the other day and I was like, this is like borderline dark chocolate. And I was like, I
It's
can
probably
see
like
what
that Dutch chocolate.
Me?
It's Dutch chocolate ice cream.
Oh, is what they use.
I asked them. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, again, it might be expensive where you live, but it might not be where Vector lives. We don't know. So that'll be up to him to decide.
So I'm starting with the darkest color that I want my actual color to be. We're going to be painting this kind of a jade, teal, turquoisey tone. And I want the shadows to read as more of a dark blue black. So I'm going to put dark blue over black. Right? And that's going to achieve that.
Source Five Guys is American, but Vector said that the one just opened by him. So, where's Vector from? Sweden?
I believe so.
Bud said I got busted priming models by Robert Cray today and had a time trying to explain what I was doing. Should invite him to play a game with you.
I need a video. But I think that this just needs to become part and parcel to what you do. Every night, we need a video. Because what we'll do is we need the rights to use them in our commercials.
Yeah.
And we're going to just do a compilation commercial about we love Monument Hobbies too. And it'll just be all these old rock stars. That would be so great. I bet we can't afford that, but
No, I'm sure we could not. Oh, source. Are you guys both in the same place? Maybe that's why I am remembering it, because you're both in Sweden. Is it Sweden? Is that right? Thought Robert Cray must be a mini sculptor.
And I don't have to make the blue perfect and cover everything because having that black in there too and the cracks and all that. So you don't do this base coat real heavy. You're still just trying to get the upper areas because the black makes all the panel lines darker. Unless I blast a bunch of dark blue into the panel lines, then I already have my shadow set up in a lot of places the right way. So don't pound the paint on when you're doing your base coat.
You guys are both in the same place. I didn't realize that.
What?
They're in the
Vector
same
and Source?
city. Vector
Really?
and Source live in the same city.
They're married. They have to be.
They're
I was gonna
married?
ask if you guys knew each other, but I feel like Stockholm might be a bigger city. And but I mean, have you guys met? Have you like met up to play games or anything?
They don't know because they only have seen their screen names. They wind up they're brothers that have never admitted to one another they have the same hobby.
It is a marshmallow on that stick. Oh.
It's a
3, 2,
marshmallow.
4. Game delay, were you not? I didn't touch anything.
Jen, you broke it. What?
What happened?
Ah,
What happened?
turn off.
The light. Oh, Jordan.
Turn on.
Turn off.
You gotta give it a minute. It takes a minute.
Does it legit have voice control?
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably there's a setting that.
There is a voice control option though.
That's crazy.
Nobody has touched.
Hi, Christopher. Why'd you break the thing?
I swear he has a remote in his office and he just keeps hitting the button to mess with us. It's been a year.
What? Why are you breaking everything, Christopher?
Is it voice activated?
Yes, you voice activated.
Did you turn the voice activated setting on?
It was funny because he said turn off and it literally turned off. And then he said turn on and it turned right back on.
He knew.
His timing was just good enough to match what it was
No,
doing.
it does have a voice
It
activated.
does.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's-
I don't know how it gets turned on though. Okay. Fuck everyone.
Just unplug it. We're going to call him and tell him to send us a controller that actually works.
Yeah, we should.
I can't.
'Cause
no.
it definitely
I can't
does
have
not.
both. I can't get both of them on.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Either
There's a whole
my
ritual to
background
turning
light
those
or the
lights
light
on.
light. Whatever.
Yep.
Stay on.
Oh my God. Technology. You spend like $1,000 for something and this is how it acts.
Oh.
Gotta love it. Oh gosh. What have I done?
You guys have not met yet. Stockholm is between 1 and 10. I thought it was big, so I didn't think you would just like happen to know each other, but you should meet up.
Maybe new best friends.
Quad Tomato said, I'm not gonna lie, since Source often says aloha when they get here, I just assumed they were in Hawaii.
Also true.
I think I want dark jade.
Kruger said, I need a tip from you about hair painting. So I read that the dark parts of the hair are always where the hair meets most and where the hair blends. What if the hair is on a ponytail where it blends?
Hold on, I need to read that.
Yeah, I need to understand that better.
Sorry.
I need
Right here.
okay.
What do you mean? Are you asking where does it blend in a ponytail? Like where it's tied would be the darkest spot? And between clumps of hair, you know, between like...
But, so like hair, trying to see how much of it you can see in mine, because I have all kinds of different colors in my hair. And yes, it's probably darker underneath, but in a ponytail, it's still gonna show. I mean, it's gonna be dark back here. In the ponytail part, you're still gonna see the different colors, I would say.
I don't think I've ever seen you put your hair up before.
I don't usually wear my hair out.
I was like, huh.
Hey, Chuck, is dark jade what you get when a kid at work keeps lighting himself on fire?
Keeps what?
Lighting himself on fire. That kid quit.
Yes, that person did quit, apparently.
Jason is doing my dark angel color scheme on this mech.
You use Dark Jade on your Dark Angels? Be a good start.
Thank you for the raid, Ren Temple, and welcome, Raiders.
Hello, Raider.
What up, Raiders? Welcome, everybody. Hope you are having a great afternoon or evening or morning, depending on where you happen to be living right now.
Darth Mullen said, "Man, you have spoken to my heart there, Monument Hobbies. I gotta ask, why a Timby paint today?
Why what?
A Timby paint today?
I don't... Oh, Timberwolf.
What do you mean why?
Why are you painting Timberwolf?
Because it's there.
Because I can.
It was on my desk. That's all the reason I need, right?
Kruger, you could go either way, whatever is most comfortable for you. I know I do, Jason does, Jordan, I think you do too, paint dark to light.
Yeah.
Always.
But you could paint light and then go in and put your shadows back in, I guess.
Yeah. It's an easier tool to start with painting light using a dark wash and then highlighting back up, whether with dry brushing or another technique to, just edge highlighting and highlighting your model back up afterwards, is kind of how we tend to learn in the hobby if you don't come from, a world of actually doing art, and that's fine. That's a great way to do things. There's no problem with that. What you'll find is that as you paint more and more, starting with a dark color and building to a light color does a lot of the heavy lifting for you because your shadows are already baked into the model. That first coat of black primer darkens all of the spots like underarms, crotches, under the chin, everything that you need shadowed on like a human form or a model like this Timberwolf or whatever is already dark. Right, so I don't have to worry about going in and finding, a pin wash to pin wash these panel lines on this guy. I'll never do anything like that because my lines will stay dark where they're supposed to be dark because I started from a dark base coat, and every other paint I apply is, like if I'm airbrushing, I'm aiming at it from a direction of light. So I didn't spray a lot of the jade underneath, so I still have my dark blue, and then my dark jade is on top of that. Right? And as I add brighter colors, they'll continue to be from wherever my location of light is, leaving the undersides darker and darker. So by the time I'm ready to start with my brush work on a model that I've airbrushed like this, or if I brush the whole thing, then I've already got all the shadows baked in, we call it, right? So you have a lot of the value and work done for you already. Same thing when I painted this guy, right? The last model we did. The same exact thing. Started dark. Black primer into royal purple, then into all my dark colors, eventually painting white fur, and I never had to go back and do any washes to create any of the darkness in between the muscles or anything like that. I just didn't put bright paint in those areas. So I paint less, right? Because I paint my brush strokes get shorter and shorter and shorter as I progress on the model because there's less and less bright spots, and I just paint towards the light. Right? And at the end, you get really good contrast. You can see all the details, from the table height, your 3-foot test is good. You get good highlight on everything. And you don't have to worry about painting any of the shadows. Every now and then you might get like an oops brush stroke where you got to go back and put some dark paint in to bring your shadow back, but mostly you don't have to worry about it.
Ren Temple, we will take good care of your lurkers. Thank you for dropping them off. So for blonde hair, the base color can be brown red and then going with the yellow blonde on top of it.
Sure. Yeah, dark golden browns, brown reds, whatever. Build up a dark base layer, and then just start building up the color for the hair on top. I've got, I thought I had one of the warriors over here. Didn't she have one? I did like kind of a dirty blonde on this. And the brightest points are at the highlight shine of the, kind of that oily shine of the hair along the part and the high spots, and then the darkness stays in the deeper recesses. So, when you're saying hair is darker where the hair clumps together, it's because it overlaps itself, right? So you want to leave some darkness so you can see the different clumps of hair overlapping. And high. It's just like anything, hair is no different than any other surface you would paint. There's just usually more overlapping parts, right? But you're painting it the same way I would armor or anything else. You're just generally having to break up your highlights into longer lines of highlight that follow along those clumps of hair, so you get stranding in it.
Darth Maul wants to know if you're planning on playing Mech Warrior 5 Clans.
Nah. I was not a big fan of Mech Warrior 5. The missions got really boring real quick. It's like they threw a bunch of vehicles at you. It was like never ending. Some of the missions were fun, some weren't. I found myself just not having the same excitement as I was when I was a kid playing the first Mech Warrior games. I think it lost some of its luster over the years for me. I played so much MWO. I streamed it. I was on the No Guts, No Galaxy stream team for a long time with Darren and the team there from PGI. And so, it was something that was a part of my life forever. And then when the new games came out, I was like, oh, that's great. But it was kind of like Mech Warrior Online without the thrill of playing PvP. So I wasn't as impressed as I think I probably would have been back in the day. And the missions just became kind of, the same with what felt like just procedurally generated additions. So it had this large questing system, they said, but it was just procedurally dumping the same random variables together into, either you fought all the vehicles first and then the mechs dropped in as you thought you were safe or whatever. So I have it. I played it right when it came out, but I didn't spend a lot of time with it.
Darth Maul said Clans is story-based instead of sandbox. Papa Chicken said you're talking about Mech Warrior 5 Mercs?
Yeah.
Mech Warrior 5
I mean, it's the
Clans.
same platform, same game. They just changed that they have the clan story in this one. It's not just the same grace and death.
Said
My dad got murdered and I'm running away with a very limited amount of stuff that every Mech Warrior thing has ever been. The clans don't have a better story.
He said Mech Warrior 5 Clans just came out, much more story-oriented.
Yeah. Same game. Just
Miniatures, thank you for the raid.
That's cool. You play a smoke jaguar? That's bad, isn't it? Don't they get killed?
Over 90 minutes of cut scenes really jumps into the clan invasion.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Like I said, I hadn't paid much attention to it because Mercs just didn't float it for me, and I figured clans was just, here, have a bunch of clan mechs and do the same thing.
Story is linear with one surprise.
Wow, that dark hot pink. Source, we're not using dark hot pink.
Maybe sources.
Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not.
When you say it's totally different than Mercs, it's not, though. It's the same engine, same game, right? Just different story, different skins. You kind of like the clans on the old Mercs, but probably won't get it. I mean, did they do a completely new engine on it and all that? Oh, they upgraded it? I might check it out. I watched some videos. I doubt I'll buy it, though. I got to be honest with you. I've learned that games like that, I never play them all the way through, so they're not worth the money. Catch it on sale someday, a year from now, on Steam or something. I'm crotchety old man. Well, I heard a lot of people bitching about the Mech Lab. It's on Game Pass for free. You have to like Microsoft to be on Game Pass.
I don't particularly care for Microsoft. Oh, I do like Windows.
All right. I'm wondering if it's jade or do I make a jump to like dark turquoise here? I want it more bluish or more greenish.
The picture, if I recall, is more greenish.
It's literally right in front of your face.
I know, that's why I'm looking at it right. Yeah, I think if you went
I feel jade. And then we gotta do maybe the highlight with more blue. Like the highlight's more of a turquoise.
Yeah, they're like, it's somewhere in between dark emerald and turquoise. Or, sorry, I'm dumb. You know what it is actually pretty close to? Is bright jade, albeit a touch brighter maybe?
Nah, it's too blue.
Turquoise is bluer than dark jade. Or that's too blue, is what you're saying. The picture's too blue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Immortal, what's going on? I am Mortal. I always call you Mortal Kombat. I need you to change your name.
Yeah, we need some space.
I'm gonna need I am Mortal Kombat to change your name to Immortal Kombat because that's what I always read.
Hello, welcome back.
And I can't remember. This is Clan Ice Falcon, Clan something Falcon, Snow Falcon, something like that. Snow Crows. Beta Galaxy for Clan.
Mortal Kombat said, I stole this name from a white ninja comic. I call you whatever, do I not call you by your right name? I feel like I do. I try really hard.
Jen does care about that thing.
I always try and make the make sure I say it right if I'm not clear. I have not said it once, right? That's false. I can clearly tell that it says I am Mortal Kombat. Kruger said, can't wait to see the Prometheus den. You said you'll be painting him on a different light angle. Are you going to change that?
For the...
Like, are you changing the light?
For this guy?
Yeah.
No. There's still, like, ambient light that's bouncing around the room. I'm just kind of fleshing out where the highlights on the hair are going to be. For these mid-tone colors here.
Start to build up shadow on all the, well, I say all, the like 3 round parts on this guy. I love that this guy's big enough that you can actually paint.
Mm-hmm.
The main Battletech miniatures are so tiny with their details because of the scale of the model, right? That you can't really get a lot of the weathering and battle damage to feel at scale as well. And so you wind up with guys that look like they got big fist-sized chunks of metal taken out of them. This guy's going to be fun to do weathering on.
Yeah. Well, and it's such a huge surface too, so you have all this like beautiful space to do like freehand or do decals or
Yeah.
and then mess it all up with a yeah, it's cool. And honestly, the model looks pretty crisp.
It's actually really good. I didn't do any cleanup on it at all. This is it, pulled right out of the box.
Hmm.
I didn't clean up any mold lines, nothing. I was like, screw it, we're just gonna go for it. All right, I think one more tiny blast of highlight in some areas there, and then we go to brush.
So Jason, I have a question for you. What's this mech that is on the screen?
No idea.
Is it like a custom one or something?
No.
No.
It's a real mech. I don't know what it is, though. Some clan thing.
The one, the picture you saved?
Yeah.
It looks like it says Clan Snow Rave.
Snow Raven is... Oh, the Snow Raven is what the clan is. But the mech is... I don't know what the mech is. I was like, Snow Crows? Snow Ravens. That's what
Kruger
it is.
said yesterday I saw that they invented 3D printers that straight print figures already painted. Do you think we will lose our hobby as miniature painters soon?
No.
Nope.
Never.
You can have a hobby as long as you keep doing it. I think.
Yeah, never.
But I would say that probably not in our lifetime.
Well,
Like,
you have to
eventually
remember
things might
that
get
for
so
people that
advanced
don't
that-
like painting, sure,
Yeah.
they won't feel forced to paint anymore if they can buy their miniatures pre-painted. But as soon as they see the army across the table from them looks exactly like theirs, because you can't do anything you want, can't change it, can't use a different brand of color,
Yeah.
they'll all look the same. Then no, people, even the people that don't necessarily get into gaming for the hobby, realize that the personalization of things in this hobby is one of the greatest parts. When you've started painting and you grow to like painting, nothing can replace that feeling.
Yeah.
Nothing, right?
and
Creating
think about-
and being an artist is a huge deal. And being able to create and do your art that way, I think is great. If they can, print models that come out in color and the color doesn't fade and all that, that's, good on them. But, they've made stuff like that, like crappy painted Star Wars figures and everything like that for years. And there's a whole side industry of people that do repaints of those.
Yeah.
So,
Plus, if you think about how long 3D printers have been around and how they're still a very small part of the whole
Yeah.
hobby industry,
Yeah.
there's like,
it's a very niche hobby to print your models.
It's definitely moving away from being as niche, but it's still a small segment of our hobby as a whole.
yeah, and like Source says, hobbies can stay around for as long as people still, have an interest. There's still people that have an interest in them. And Source is saying people have horses for hobby despite cars being around for 100 years. That is true.
I hope we don't become like horses, because horses are really expensive. They didn't
Yeah.
used to be as expensive as they are today.
Jason, are you interested in becoming an equestrian?
I'm not interested in selling paints for $100 a bottle.
No,
Just like, no.
definitely not.
He is not going to be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, art and paint has been a huge industry for centuries. And it has had all sorts of, everybody said digital art was going to kill the want for people to do traditional art. And all it did was make traditional art grow even more. Because it introduced more people to creating visual art who then wanted to learn, like, oh, what if I didn't use Photoshop?
Mm-hmm.
Could I take what I've learned now and do stuff, with a paintbrush? And I think that's always going to be the case. So, you hope AI won't replace most artists? Nah, it'll replace like art for companies that weren't hiring artists anyway, right? Because production art, that's where you'll see it. Thumbnails and technical manuals for your refrigerator is what you'll see AI art doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that, people on social media will continue to use it to make the scene from their favorite movie that didn't ever really get made, turn their favorite character into some big boobed anime girl. Which seems to be the big thrill right now with AI art.
Oh, it's so true.
They made an AI engine that's all it does.
Really?
Yeah. You input like a picture and it turns them into a big boobed anime girl. And so now there's like all sorts of stuff on the feeds, on the Tic Tacs.
Yeah, I like the meme that said, I want the AI to do my dishes and my laundry so I can continue to make art, not the other way around.
Yeah, we don't need the
Yes.
AI to make the art. We need the AI to do the work we don't want to do so we can be more creative.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, lazy people are using it to make art.
Can I go watch it?
Ghost Hunter's like, I'll be right back. Do you have a link? You have a link?
Views, can I get a pic? Oh, where would we find this so we can avoid it?
Yeah, ooh, gross. Give me the link so I can blacklist it. Right. Right. I think maybe dark turquoise.
You know, on the
Dark
prompts of like, I want to see a giant bear wearing a tuxedo and playing darts.
Maybe
You know,
bright
you
jade.
put that into AI and it gives you a picture of that. Well, Jason used to do that.
Was that what I used to?
Used to do drawings on stream where
Yeah.
people would put words in chat.
Yeah.
You would take a few words and draw something.
I was the
You were
first
the
AI
original
artist.
AI artist,
I was the first AI artist. Chat was the prompters.
except without the A because he was real.
Yeah, we used to run. Chat would throw a bunch of words in to the chat, and Jen and I would pick the ones that were the most interesting. You know,
Yeah, we
banana,
would pick
softball, orc, spaceship, and we'd run with that, and I'd draw it. I still have all of those images digitally.
Yeah.
People won the art ones and
Scan
have them
them all
hanging in various places across the
Save
planet
them.
in frames. That was a lot of fun.
You gonna do all that pinstriping too? Ah, that color, Jason.
Delay, right?
That looks really good.
Game Delay said, I love how y'all are acting like AI boob generators are new information in your brains. I have never known about this thing until now.
I don't believe that you are thinking that this just.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that is. Very, very good color.
Mr. Nervous Painting said, awesome highlight color.
This is just dark jade, jade, and bright jade. This is something I don't normally do. I don't normally do just a simple triad of colors, but it really wants it. So, model gets what the model wants. But I think I will do the brush highlighting all with a turquoise. Something with a little bit more blue to it.
Alright. I need to brighten up this tail light on the back. His shoulders need to be a touch brighter than what it currently is right now.
Oh, wow.
I feel like it's just
It looks like there's no paint on the back when you look at the areas with the highlight.
Oh, jeez.
It has the jade and everything, but it doesn't look like it because that bright color just overwhelms, right?
I think it's. Did they make any other big ones other than that one?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I had heard rumor there was going to be a Warhammer. I thought there might be an Inner Sphere one, but I mean, like maybe there was an Archer. I don't remember. I would have liked to have had the opportunity to get the Inner Sphere one instead of this filthy Clanner. Filthy vat-born nonsense I gotta paint.
Filthy vat-born nonsense.
Filthy.
So I'm just hitting this shoulder to start with. I'll hit the top of the back of the head too.
North Mullen said if you have to paint a filthy clanner, you got the right one.
That's true.
Heck, Elf, hello.
It's one of the first ones the Mercs started capturing to put in their own employ. So we could say this is an Inner Sphere, but I already started painting him as Clan Snow Raven, just because that's a cool name, and I never heard of him before. I don't keep up with the clan stuff, so.
This isn't the first clan mech you've painted, though, right?
Oh no.
Okay.
I painted a ton of these filthy bastards.
Well, I guess technically Carry On has...
Not a single clan mech.
I thought that she had a clan mech that was converted.
Nope.
Or is it just an old mech that's converted?
Nope, I didn't use it. There was a model for a clan mech that looks exactly like an Inner Sphere mech.
Oh.
Due to the changes that PGI did in the artwork.
Got
It looked close enough to run, but I don't think I added it to my list.
I thought her like mech was the like...
She's a trebuchet, 3C.
Is that not... I thought that was a...
No, that's an old Star League era mech.
Oh, it's not from the correct era.
Right.
That's what it was.
It's the only mech non-era in my
I was
entire
like, there's
regiment.
something that was unique
Or in my
about
entire
it.
battalion, the only mech is hers.
Okay.
Is passed down through her entire family from Star League era
Right.
tech, yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Source.
We gotta play some more BattleTech, Jason.
I'm down. Philip
right.
always says he wants to play.
I'll hit up Philip.
I have some new models. I have all the vehicles. I have to paint another like 40 plus models for my Wayward Sons. All the vehicles that I bought that's the only reason I did the Kickstarter was to get all the vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And they now have a real Spectre model. So I don't have to use the 3D printed Spectre. Some of the 3D printed ones that I had to use because they didn't make models for them. Now those exist. So I'll change those out of my list because they look cooler.
We should organize that on a Friday. I'll talk to Philip and I'll touch base with you afterwards.
I'm down.
All right, Philip, if you're here.
Philip was here first.
You have to paint clan mechs to blow clan mechs up. That's right. We have a full star of clan mechs that we can blow up.
Jason has so many BattleTech models. You have so.
I have all of them.
I think you do.
I have all of them.
You literally have everything.
We literally have every Catalyst Game Labs model. We have all the ones from the sets, all the singles, all that.
So
We spare no expense around here.
we spare no expense.
We even have all the filthy clans. There may be some clan box sets I didn't buy because I just didn't care. But I have most of the clan box sets too. And for the reason that's specified there, you have to be able to have the bad guy mechs to have all of the scenarios to play. So, gotta have some clan mechs.
Clan mechs are not bad guy mechs.
I don't have doubles of any of them though, which makes it rough. Because then you got to build stars that don't have like legit makeup. Wolf Dragoons, filthy traitors.
Mr. Nerves Painting said a friend just sent me a lance of Inner Sphere mechs to paint, and I recently found my old metal Raul Partha mechs from the 80s and stripped them clean for refurbishing.
I'm hoping that one of these days we'll get out to the storage facility and I'll be able to find my old metal mechs.
Oh, you have them still?
When I moved to Arizona, I still had the mech that won my first painting competition for me. I had my old early 80s Raul Partha Battlemaster. along with the entire lance of models that we won the tournament with. Had a Spider, an Orion 1K, a Locust, a Battlemaster, and I want to say a Wolverine. I can't remember what the medium. Maybe a Griffin.
Really think that you still have them?
They were here when I moved to Arizona.
Oh.
I know exactly what they're in. It doesn't mean that when I sold off my shop and moved out of that place that I didn't throw them away. So that's the only thing I don't know.
Is that something that you would normally throw away?
So I've thrown away so many models in my years.
That's right.
Because they don't mean
'cause when
anything
he
to me
moved-
once
yeah.
they're painted.
And when he moved out of that, he wasn't painting miniatures at all. Like, it wasn't, I didn't even know they existed.
Well, I was painting them. It was always part of what I did.
I mean, it wasn't.
I had some new ones that I had been painting in that office after you and I first met. But because we had talked about it on stream before I even knew you about possibly painting,
Yeah, but
and I had pulled them out to show people, but it wasn't something
it
I did
wasn't
every
a
day.
thing like it is now. Like, I had no idea that any of this existed until you came back from your mom.
You don't need to know everything about me.
Apparently, I don't.
Maybe when we get to the 10-year mark.
Yeah. That's like fairly soon, yeah?
Yeah.
January.
Is it
If
really
she's lucky.
January?
January 31st.
No way.
Yep.
If she's lucky.
If she's lucky.
So,
Who's lucky?
yeah, I was about to say, I don't know about that, Jason.
I'm gonna go home. The doors are gonna be locked and
Yeah.
chained.
Yeah.
Locks are changed. There's a
Oh,
bag
yeah,
on the front
wow.
porch.
I've never seen you before in my life.
Don't know who you are. Play some Satisfactory. I've never played that. I played Factorio, the 2D version.
Satisfactory appeals to me. I like the 3D building. It's like the thing that I like about Minecraft, for example, is like doing all the factory building and building reactors and that sort of stuff. And I'm pretty sure Factorio is literally just that. Or Satisfactory. I always get them mixed up.
Helga, we drive separately to work, and I can't drive 2 cars home. Otherwise, yes, he would walk home. Gabe Delay said, after 24 years, do Mrs. Delay and I know everything about each other, or have we cycled back into mystery?
Yes.
This is doing, you only know what you know. You know?
You know?
So how can you answer that question?
You only know what you know. And if you don't know,
You don't
now you know.
Jen, I don't know how to
now
answer
you
that
know.
question.
What question?
The one that I don't know
Yeah,
about.
exactly. That's what I'm saying to Game Delay.
Yeah, Gabe was saying it went into full release and that it's really cool, Satisfactory. And I think I own it. I think I've had it for a bunch of years. I've just never paid attention to
Well,
it.
I think you bought it when it was super early access, and you were like, this game's dumb, it's early access. And then you probably never played it.
I feel like
for a long
that's
time.
right. I feel like I got it in early access. And because I played a lot of Factorio. Factorio we streamed. That was back in the day when StarMade was really big. Well, I say big. It was never big, but it was big for me. I loved playing StarMade. StarMade was like Minecraft in space.
Oh, that's cool.
Let you build all these crazy spaceships. Then Space Engineers came out, and Space Engineers sucked when it was first launched. It didn't have anything you could do, but the premise was cool. So I like those kind of games. I like Space Engineers a lot. Jen has sat and watched, well, not watched me do it, but come in and said, "How's your spaceship?" Because I build ridiculously huge, crazy, like, space carriers and battleships and destroy the server with the amount of blocks it has to draw. Just for fun and creative mode. I just love it. It's the part of Minecraft that really gets me going. I don't really care about the game itself. I just like to build stuff.
After 13 years, you still learn new things about your wife, Darth Mullen? Not as often, but it still happens. There's for sure stuff that I still learn. There's probably more that Jason could learn about me than I could learn about him. Just because
Interesting.
his life is way more interesting.
Darth Mullen says Empyrean galactic survival is greater than Space Engineers. I don't think that shipbuilding is, though. unless they change it. Again, I haven't touched Empyrean in probably, I say years. I don't know how long it's been out, but again, it was one of those that I got when it was first, and I didn't like it at all. It felt like Ark Survival with spaceships. It was bleh. Maybe I'll check it out again. Maybe they made it better. Because I do like those games. But Space Engineers has such a tremendous modding community. Bajillion freaking things you can do in Space Engineers with different blocks and automations and stuff like that. But do the ships look like Gothic cathedrals?
I mean, there's enough customization. You could probably make it work.
Jason will one day learn that Jen likes pina coladas and dancing in the rain. No. You can't even get Jen out of the house when it's raining. And she doesn't drink anymore, and especially not things with rum in them. Reforged Eden, totally different game. It's crazy. I love those, right? There's like Fallout mods that are like that turn it into like 40K. It's still a horrible engine, but I love that there are people out there that have so much time on their hands that they use other people's video games to make their great magnum opus video game out of.
So funny.
And you get this mod for free, and some of them are so much better than the original game, right?
Yeah, I mean,
modded Minecraft is like out of this
yeah.
world. Like
Yeah.
out of this world. Not that the base game is horrible. Obviously, Mojang made billions of dollars selling to Microsoft, and I think it's the greatest selling video game of all time. But
yeah, I think so.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a title that'll ever be broken, actually.
Probably not.
But modded Minecraft becomes a game that's
completely different
superlative. It's like totally different. But you have to have a hell of a machine to run it because it's a severely unoptimized game.
Well, the other thing, it attacks your PC. I say attacks, but it impacts your PC in a way that other video games don't. So people don't build PCs to be able to handle Minecraft particularly well.
Yeah, yeah.
You can do it.
Oh yeah, Sins of a Solar Empire had a Star Trek mod that was really cool. I only watched videos of it. I never got it. I'm not as big into 4X games like that.
I was never very good at them. I always struggled getting them to work good for me.
Getting them to work?
Well, just like being able to understand like the core mechanics to a point where I was able to like functionally play the game.
Oh yeah, sure.
Was very difficult for me, and still is to many extents. So I just like never really played them. There's a pretty good Dune one that's like kind of like a light version of a 4X game. That's pretty fun. I forget what it's called off the top of my head.
My problem with 4X games is that I start off really good, and then I get like detoured into like the science branch and all the cool things you can make on your planets and ships and all that stuff, and then the enemy like nukes me from afar. It's like, the enemy has built a world destroying, battle station.
Then you're like, what?
And all of a sudden my main planet gets destroyed. It's like, well, this game's not fun anymore.
What do you mean world destroying battle station?
The AI can like literally ruin the game for you in like 15 minutes on some modes.
Butts 1000, great name.
Ooh.
Said I got into Minecraft when it was a relatively small community on Reddit, and now my daughter plays it for hours on her tablet. It's surreal.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Been around forever, and I made fun of it when I was streaming World of Tanks and PvP games back in the early 2010s, and all I was focused on was PvP games. And I would be like, I'd be like, hey, if you don't like it, go play Minecraft. Care Bear, and
Care Bear.
Yeah. See, Care Bear, go play Minecraft. And then one of my viewers was like, you know what? You always give Minecraft a hard time. You should play it. And I was like, I'll do it. I'll put my money where my mouth is. And I played it, and I was blown away.
Oh, dang.
Blown away. Because they said, download these mods, do this thing, get a shader pack. So I got a shader pack that made the water look like real and sunsets and all this craziness. And I was like, all right, gang, we're streaming Minecraft now. You've seen modded Minecraft. Pretty cool. Still wouldn't play it. I don't know. It's pretty amazing. Mojang's done a lot of really cool stuff with that game over the years. So
yeah, like making a sweet movie.
oh, don't even. So, why are you such a horrible human being?
Oh,
Why?
it was low-hanging fruit, Jason. I had to go for it.
What made you this way? Get your mom on the phone.
Yeah, well, I can give her a call. You've met my dad, though. And my grandmother.
They're just going to shake their heads.
Yes. The funny thing is, my dad was the one who was, like, actually into, like, computers and games and stuff.
Oh, really?
Not to the same extent that I am, but, like, he has a very, very involved flight sim set up at his house right now, and he's all about it.
That said, she loves to ask Dad what blocks were in the game when you played. I was going to ask how different it is, but he said it's a very different game, but also the same.
It is a very different game now. They've added a lot of parts to it, a lot of different blocks, a lot of recipes and things you can do. And then, of course, you can mod the crap out of it.
I would be lying if I said I haven't played Minecraft in the past 7 days.
Gabe? Why are we not playing Minecraft?
There are other games that does what Minecraft does that don't look as bad. That's Source.
None of them do it as well.
Yeah.
Not a single one. Trust me, I was like, I bet there's other games that look better that do this. Nope. All of them fall dramatically short. They all have great aspirations, but the thing is that Minecraft does it so well that you get over the crappy graphics. You just put a shader pack on.
That helps a lot.
They have
It
some
really does
amazing
help a
shader
lot.
packs. Now, you have to have one hell of a machine to play with those shader packs. I'm not going to lie. Some of the shaders I have will like knock a standard graphics card out. It'll sit there and run full fans, high horsepower, and all you're doing is turning circles, watching the sunrise, building my base underwater.
Gabe said he is always down for some Minecraft, or for some craft. I yearn for the mines.
All right. I do want to set up a Minecraft server with the.
I told Gabe we could do a Minecraft server.
It'd be fun. I'd want
Somebody else has to control chunks and all that crap.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in doing any of that.
If I had an extra laptop floating around, I'd run it off my laptop. I'm very sad, Jason.
You should be.
Whoa! Where did
What are you
that
sad
come
about?
from? Why should I be sad, Jason?
What are you sad about?
I'm
Can't answer that
sad.
question until we know what you're sad about.
I'm sad because the Path of Exile 2 early access was delayed by 3 weeks.
I
And
don't know what
this
that
makes me-
means. Therefore, I do
makes me
not
sad.
care.
Did you say? What did you say?
I said I don't know what that means. Therefore, I do not
don't
care.
care.
Therefore, I do not care.
Yeah. Jason,
That's my Jen.
Jason knows about it.
That's my Jen.
He knows what's going on.
That's my girl right there.
Um,
The one thing with Jen is that you always get exactly
I'm not
this.
going to pretend to like something that I don't like.
No,
Why
you're gonna
should
get.
I? Life's too short.
One of the reasons I fell in love with her. She just tells it like it is. You get all of Jen 100% all the time.
you do.
It's not for everyone. I'll tell you that. I can say for sure. I am not everyone's cup of tea.
Jen's great. I got no issues hanging out with Jen.
Thank you, Debbie, for understanding.
But yeah, I have to admit though, gotta give them props. They the lead dev on the game made a very transparent and pretty honest apology about it. It was like, oh man, this is how people or companies are supposed to apologize for delaying games by 3 weeks or whatever. It was refreshing to see.
Gabe said that Jordan, you should play Poe in Minecraft.
I don't feel like that would work. If you've ever played a lot of PoE, that game will also destroy your computer in similar ways that Minecraft will.
Wad Tomato, that is totally understandable. Wad said, I played Minecraft at a less than stellar time in life, and as a result, trying to go back to it later really felt weird, and I couldn't get back into it.
I mean, that's pretty reasonable.
Associate it with things that weren't pleasant, then it makes perfect sense. My brother tried to tell me to be less like that, and I said, if you don't like taking me to fancy places, stop taking me to fancy places. There you go. Gabe said that's literally the mod pack I was playing this weekend.
Wait, what? Wait. Gabe will talk about this
Zambies
later.
husband talked me into giving a... Oh, is it POE or POE?
POE.
PO... Well, it was all...
It's short for Path of Exile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zambies husband tried to talk me into giving POE 2 a try when it comes out.
That's going to be interesting. I'm excited about it.
If I were everyone's cup of tea, I would probably have to be chamomile, because everyone seems to like chamomile tea, except for Game Delay. Fewer flowers in his tea, please.
Let me guess, that was game delay?
Yep. Yeah, yep. You know him so well, Jason.
Yes.
Yes. I'm doing the same thing that Jen was doing, getting everything super smooth blends.
Copying you, Jen.
Yep.
Stealing your thunder.
Hey, you know what? You'll learn from the best, right?
You take him anywhere.
Game Delay had TAs in college that knew his anonymous essays immediately.
That's funny.
That's solid style right there.
Got some big news coming out this week.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. Why, yes, we do.
This turquoise is the perfect highlight over the jades.
Ghost Hunter said Black Friday news? No.
Nope.
Is it related to an airbrush matte varnish?
Nope.
Paint Liquor said still hoping for Wizard's what? Nope.
Nope.
That's 3 no's right there. Sorry.
Something going on over there?
I just never know what colors I'm gonna put where on mechs. so I wind up doing like all the armor panels in this jade, and then I'll change my mind and paint some of them gray, and a lot of duplication of effort on these models for me because I'm not willing to pick the color scheme early.
It's all about discovering what the model really tells you it should look like.
Bunions and Cabbage said, I am in need of a recommendation of a pro acrylic color that's often overlooked. I have all the signature sets and most of the heavy hitters in the regular line, but I want to support my FLGS when I go. What's a good color I can pick up? One that you don't have. I mean, if you've got all of them already.
Yeah. It's hard to
one that you
pick.
don't have.
Do you have, when you say you have the heavy hitters, do you have Payne's Gray?
Well, all the signature sets.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. All the signature sets, most of the heavy hitters in the regular line.
Yellow ochre,
Dark golden brown.
burnt sienna, burnt orange, all those.
Bold pyro red, which you should probably already have. I mean, I really like khaki. The yellow greens are really good.
Khaki's awesome.
I mean, the funny thing is, I'm going to keep on going until I name everything.
This is difficult because we don't know what you have, so
Right.
they're just going to start saying colors.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm gonna keep on saying colors.
don't have a
until I
khaki
name
yet.
all of them.
well, then get khaki.
There you go,
Yep.
Kirky.
Khaki's fine.
You have the fluorescents.
Oh yeah, those are
Fluorescents are
really good, too.
fun. The transparents. If you don't have the transparents,
Oh gosh, yeah.
Jordan did a great video on those recently.
Buy the transparent
Give us
set.
some good inspiration on how to use
don't have it.
those. Yeah, see, like game delay. Game delay asking, do you have all the transparents? Yeah, I don't know. There's so many good ones. Don't have any transparency yet? Buy the set. There you go. That's a good one. You'll have fun with that. And then watch Jordan's video on it's called How to Transparent.
How to transparent.
Some good tips and tricks. And then you can also just search on YouTube for transparency because there's other creators that have videos too. Ghost Hunter? Where did that come from? Ghost Hunter just said, I have normal parents. Oh, transparents. Gotcha. Twisted Nerves Painting, thank you. Twisted Nerve said your bold titanium white is the best white paint on the market in my mind.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Paint that started the whole line.
Widely held belief.
Yeah. Brought us here today. Source has a good tip on transparents. They are not speed paints
No.
on their own.
You can make them behave in similar ways.
One of the very first, way back when the transparents were new. Didn't Ninjon do that video about using contrast medium or something? With
Yep,
them?
using the contrast medium to make, and our transparents to make better contrast paints.
Yeah. Second tip on transparents, they are strong. They're very heavily pigmented, so they're going to be super vibrant.
100% correct.
Onions and Cabbage said, I remember buying Bold Titanium White at Jason's recommendation at Gen Con a couple years ago. My first pro acrylic paint.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's one of those where, you know, everybody knows how much of a struggle it is to paint with white, and we have no problem with Pro-Acryl saying, buy a color you struggle with. No matter what that is. If you have a paint in someone else's line that you regularly have problems with, that could be yellow, white, some greens, tons of them. And if you've had a color that you shy away from because you're just like, yeah, it's not worth the fight, buy it in Pro-Acryl. You will learn about our entire line in using those colors because we have the most consistent paints on the market. Every color works very, very similar to the last one.
Valthorn, you have everything but the matte set, transparents, and fluorescence, and you have zero idea what to do with them. With which ones? Those three that you don't have? Or specifically the transparents and fluorescence that you don't know what to do with them? Because again, great video on our YouTube. Here, I'll put
The
YouTube
video
link. I'll
tells
put the
all.
YouTube link in right now rather than waiting until the end, and I'll do it again at the end.
We are very close to the end. It's 6 minutes out.
Mortal Kombat said I watched a video from Darcy Bono where she mixed transparent black with I can never say this word, Lamian medium,
Lamian medium, yep.
to make a wash, and I actually like it better than the black wash. There you go. Don't trust anyone named Paint Liquor.
Just in general. Don't trust anyone named Paint
Specifically
Liquor.
right now, but just in general. It somehow became 3:54 already.
Isn't that crazy?
So
I just looked down and I was like, are you kidding me?
we need to start thinking about wrapping things up. It is almost time for us to be done.
Gotta put the marshmallow back on. Boop. The
I have
marshmallow.
lots of work to do tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah, and prep for a Friday announcement.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. It occurred to me that thing. Still, yep. That thing. You're doing that thing. You all don't get to know what that thing is
He's rude.
yet. Well, Jason won't say it
We
either.
will not be streaming on Friday.
Also, we will not be streaming on Friday.
Big announcement Friday and no stream.
Isn't that weird?
We're
It
gonna
was funny
give you,
timing.
give you the goods, and then we're gonna run away.
So, great reason to join the Discord.
Tech Elf, lots of cool, well, big, awesome announcement on Friday.
Friday is November 1st.
It is, in fact, November 1st.
That's what Friday is.
I can't believe it's November.
Which is not really
already.
relevant to any announcements or why we're not here. It just happens to be what day it is. Valthorn Ilian said all the ones I do have, I'm used to lower opacity hobby paints, and these higher opacity paints are driving me nuts. Can't get a smooth blend to save my life. Are you talking about Pro-Acryl?
You gotta relearn the wheel. We've had to learn such bad habits of how to operate paint because of the inconsistencies in other hobby paints that when you have a real high quality paint in front of you, it operates very differently, right?
Raw Tomato, definitely not that. We will continue to stream. We'll be back Monday.
A lot of people have had to learn to glaze in tons of layers and things like that, and that's really a waste of time and energy to have to paint that way. You can get the same nice blended results with like 3 passes of Pro-Acryl, because you're going to get more color each pass, better blending each pass, and maintain vibrancy as opposed to losing it all because you glazed the model so many times that it's all desaturated. It's so funny when you can see a model painted with Pro-Acryl versus a model painted with our competitors' paints, and you can see the loss of vibrancy because of how many times you have to build the paint up to get the color right with the other brands.
Procreate makes life easy.
But you can still glaze with them. If you want to glaze 50 layers with Procreate, you definitely can. You just don't need as much water. If you thin them down too much, they start to separate the pigment out. And so you'll start to see kind of a crazy texture start to swirl around. So stop using as much wetness as you're used to with other paints. You'll be able to reduce the opacity similarly to competitive brands a lot quicker with our paints. So you can get to that glaze level much easier. Got a video on our YouTube channel that talks about only using water on my brush to do all of my painting, because I don't ever mix water in on my palette. I 100% just use the dampness on whatever brush I'm using at various levels. And in that video on YouTube, I go through glazing and layering and any kind of blending you can imagine you can do with just the water on your brush. So it's much easier. My goal was to, when I set out, was to develop a paint that was super simple, that just lets you spend time on the model and not have to mess around on the palette too much. So that's what we did. Bingo, it worked.
Bingo. Bingo. No more Jesus feels.
You watch any more Tulsa King?
I did not. I was busy last night, but I will be getting back on to that tonight because I have no plans.
I think we've watched 6. Building up to the season finale, it's starting to get rough.
Rough as in hard to watch, or?
No, rough as in lots of bad things happening to our crew.
Uh-oh. That's
not
good.
You can tell they're mounting to the big finale. Ghost Hunter, how do we set up our wet palette? Best method, especially when using our paints, but for any paints, you want to make sure your wet palette isn't overly wet. So you're going to fill the basin with water like you normally would. Get your sponge soaked. Make sure all that's very wet. And then wet the palette paper, whatever palette and paper you're using, get that wet. Most of the time, it's like wax paper feeling, right? So it doesn't soak up like a sponge. It doesn't feel wet like if you ran a sock underwater or anything. But you want to make sure it's wet because it is still porous paper. Get it wet so you know that the pores in the paper are open. Then use a straight edge, literally like a ruler, and squeegee it to where it's no longer sopping wet on the top. And lay that down over the sponge. Put some weights on the corner of your paper so it doesn't roll up. And you're done. Off and running. You just want to make sure there's no water standing on the top of your paper. You don't want the top of the paper to be wet. That causes the wet palette to not work the way it's intended to work. The wet palette the paper should be dry on the top or close to dry. The paint is the wetness on the palette. And as the water evaporates out of the paint, the act of that happening will pull water from underneath the paper, because the paper's sitting on top of water, will pull water through the pores in the paper to replace the water that's been evaporated out of the paint. Right? So if the top of the paper is all wet, then there's never a chance for that to happen, and your wet palette really isn't doing anything. It's just being a wet piece of paper for you.
Noodle.
And that doesn't fulfill the job we need it to do. So you want it to be very dry to the touch on the top. In most cases. Now, if you're doing like watercolor or something, then you probably have to treat it differently. But with acrylics, that's the way to do it. I only use a dry palette, so. I don't use any of that fandangle new technology y'all silly kids use.
I'm a silly kid.
He said it, not me.
I'm a silly kid. Hear me, for I am silly kid.
My.
Bye. What are you doing tonight, Gabe? Yard work?
Yeah,
Isn't that like a weekend gig?
gotta get my yard ready. Well, yeah, but it's supposed to rain this weekend, so
It rained yesterday.
it's supposed to rain more though.
Oh.
I want to get all my
Seeding done.
seeding done right before.
Alright.
Gabe's doing his green thumb thing.
Then I'll probably be on game.
Okay. I'll say hello.
Miles and miles of edging to do on these mechs. Oh my god. Why did I do this to myself?
It is the downside of doing what you're
I
doing.
don't feel like I've even done anything.
I mean, it looks great.
I can see it coming together.
I'm excited to see what other colors you can put on it. Are you going to keep it the same as the...
I'm going to use that kind of weird, they say it's a greenish gray in the camo specs online portion of it.
Uh-huh.
That they do this kind of, they didn't call it turquoise. I don't remember what color they called it. But then they use like a greenish gray and yellow highlights. So yes, I plan on doing the gray and the yellow highlights.
Cool.
And that real dirty metallic that they have on here in the non-metallic way, I think is cool. So
Yeah,
I figured
I
out.
think it'll look good.
It's Snow Ravens, Clan Snow Ravens.
With the orange cockpit, too?
Yeah, I like the orange cockpit.
Just...
Although I could also see like a purple being really bitchin'. Everybody warned you about edge highlighting, but oddly it has become your zen place. For me too. It's one of the things that really, as you move around the model, edge highlighting really gets you to focus in on details. It's just also one of those things that on a model like this, where you can see 50 million edges you have to do, that eventually you look up and you go, oh, I just wasted my whole day. Right? And you're done with half the model. And the thing with mine is, like you said, edging purgatory, exactly, bud. It's like I got to go through and do this, and then I'll probably do a filter over the whole thing, and then go back and do more edge highlighting. So, that's just the way that I do this. And on armored units like this, where I'm not trying to paint it super fast, having to do edge highlighting twice when there's that many edges is like, oh, God. Oh, God. It'll be nice, though. What did Froggy Pate heard we were eating paint over here? No. I don't know where you might have heard that, but that is incorrect. Had you said that before Jen got in the room, I might have had a different answer. But now I have to toe the company line and say,
Good
"Do
job,
not eat
deadbeat
the
artist.
paint.
Don't eat the paint.
Don't eat the paint." There's Jen with the links.
Got a bunch of links out here for you.
What?
Back in time.
Make
for the
sure
links.
you guys click on all the links. You can find all the wonderful, magical things that we sell, like Procryl,
What?
on our website.
We sell Procryl?
Yep.
Oh my god.
No, Jason, we don't just sell Procryl. We make Procryl.
We make that
Ew.
stuff?
Yes,
Well, we
do.
are good.
Yeah, look at that. See?
We are good.
Jason, did you like that sales pitch?
4,946 people in the Discord watching me edge the Timberwolf on stream. Ooh. Said that out loud. Sounded kind of funny. It's a Zen experience, yeah. Yeah, you do lose yourself for a while when you're edge highlighting, especially on something like this. Again, like I just get rooted right in there. If I wasn't talking on stream, if I were sitting here listening to like an audiobook on a Saturday, I'd look up and be like, why am I so hungry? Oh, because it's 8 hours later. And Jen would be like, had texted me 10 times, are you doing okay? Are you doing okay? What are you doing? Are you doing okay?
How's it going? Those are my standards.
Our Jen and mine's text, we should publish it. Because it's literally the same thing for the past, 3 years. How's it going? Doing great. Headed home. Need anything? I don't know. What do you want? You know?
What's for dinner?
Burgers?
Yeah.
What's for dinner? Headed home. Need anything? It's our texts are literally the same all the time.
It would not be
This
interesting for
does not
hackers.
surprise me in the least. But yeah, make sure you guys check out all the links. Give us some love. Drop us a follow if you are new here. We stream 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard. Did I say 4?
No,
Oh, okay, you're just reinforcing.
I'm driving
Okay,
it home.
Cool.
Except
Excellent.
this week it's 4.
Except for this week, we will not be streaming
He's a
on
liar.
You know
Friday.
what? It'll
He's a
always be
liar.
2 to 4.
He's a liar. This
our
week we're
time.
streaming 4 days.
4 days.
Liar.
I'm not just the president of Monument Hobbies.
Gotcha.
I'm also a
as
customer.
he said, I painted on my head.
We're gonna find somebody to raid.
Yeah.
We will see you guys all tomorrow.
Because of the time change. The
Yeah, the time change makes a lot of choices
Yeah,
on
we
the
have more
on the
choices
streaming stuff.
today.
So show some love in the chat. We wind up and we will be back here tomorrow. If you haven't followed the stream yet, hit that follow button. Get notified when we go live. We'd love to see you back and over on the Discord. So looking forward to hanging out with you more. We're out of here.
Bye.